This would have been their final resting place. Tossed between the wild grass and the scrub brush in the Arizona desert outside Prescott. But a passerby discovered them the day after Christmas 2020. Someone dumped several bodies here, or at least parts of them.
To treat the human remains so cavalierly, and I think that this is the most hard to imagine part of this entire situation.
Responding deputies found 3 knees, a shoulder, 8 arms and 8 legs, a total of 24 body parts in all. A day later, 20 miles away, a hunter found more, 2 human heads lying above ground, 3 buried nearby. Records say a small silver tag was attached to some of them, indicating the bodies may have been used for medical research. Just who were the people left to rot in this Arizona desert? And how did they get here? Investigators eventually pieced together a trail 1,100 miles long and a story that starts in Seattle. Happy birthday, dear Maudine. Maudine Wilson lived a remarkable 104 years before she died in the Seattle area in October of 2019.
I just see a tenderness in her and a wistfulness.
Her daughter Marie has nearly a century's worth of photos showing a life well lived.
And this is exactly the halfway mark in her life. Oh my gosh, this is my junior year of high school. You can see the joy that's there. That's really genuine.
Several months after Maudine died, her family received an alarming call from a Washington State Patrol detective.
He wanted to do a DNA test on me so that it could be determined whether any of the remains in Arizona were my mother's.
That's when Evans Wilson, Maudine's son, first learned of the bodies in the desert. He called his sister Marie.
It was hurtful to think that she would be treated that way, not only her, but anyone else. And I thought it was disgusting. How could anybody disrespect anyone else's body or anyone else's loved one like that?
Here's the backstory. Maudine's family had tried to donate her body to the University of Washington Medical School where she once worked. The UW rejected that donation, but
they gave us the name of Walter Mitchell with Future Gen X.
Walter Mitchell ran a for-profit company called Future Gen X. It solicited bodies, a middleman for companies that need them for medical education and research, until Future Gen X folded sometime in 2020. Mitchell headed to Arizona with some of his specimens in coolers, according to police reports.
And apparently the dump was pretty sloppy. He left bags with printed material that tied these remains back to his company.
And how could this happen to my mom when we trusted them with her?
They are not alone. There are at least 13 families in Washington state whose loved ones, donors, may be victims, according to documents we've compiled through public records requests. Several relatives have given DNA samples to authorities to see if there's a match, the only way to positively identify the remains found in the desert. Mitchell pleaded not guilty in Arizona to 29 counts of abandoning a dead body, the latest case of bad behavior by a body broker.
Hosting an event in a pay-per-view manner is completely immoral and unethical.
In October, we showed you how a body broker from Las Vegas supplied a donated cadaver without the family's consent for a live autopsy show before a paying audience.
This happens in America, not in a third world country, but that in America, people are able to get donated bodies, cut them up, and sell them off a price list, often on the black market.
David TESELLE is a Denver attorney whose firm won a $58 million judgment against Biological Resource Center in Phoenix. Evidence photos show donated cadavers in body bags that were dissected and packaged in freezers. Jurors found the company lied to donors and mishandled body parts, evidence uncovered in an FBI raid.
They found a large male torso with a small woman's head sewn on top of it, as if it was mocking, what they were doing.
Similar stories about body brokers in Detroit, Tennessee, and Colorado expose an unregulated industry open to anyone.
It's not regulated. The person who ran this facility was a man named Stephen Gore. He only had a high school education. He didn't need a license.
Recently, the DNA test revealed that Maudine Wilson's remains were not among those in the Arizona desert.
It wasn't a match, and that my mother was not part of the remains that were discovered in the desert.
But the King 5 investigators have spoken with 3 donors' families, 2 from the Puget Sound area and 1 from Moses Lake, who confirm their loved ones were among the remains. Only relatives of Douglas Patterson of Camano, whose heart failed at age 59, allowed us to reveal the identity. And all the families, like Maudine Wilson's, are left to wonder about the cremated remains that Mitchell returned to them.
If they mishandled these other parts of this process, then am I assured that this is my mom or all my mom?
But we talked to several Washington families who were wrapped up in this whole thing, and they all asked the same thing: what really happened to their loved ones?